Imagine waking up on a battlefield where the enemy isn't attacking with swords, but with banquets. In 1567, General Takeda Shingen orchestrated the most psychologically brutal act in Japanese military history, a war crime so shocking it was systematically erased from official records. Newly declassified documents from the Tokyo National Museum reveal he didn't defeat an army. He made them watch as he ate his own defeat. And worse, this tactic was so effective that it's being used against you today, not with food, but with algorithms. Before we dive into this historical nightmare, please leave a like. This type of content is routinely suppressed by platforms, and your support helps keep the truth alive. To understand Shingen's dark genius, we need to go back to Sengoku, Japan, an era where warring clans clashed in battles that made Game of Thrones look like a picnic. The political map was a blood-stained chessboard, and our protagonist, Takeda Shingen, was a master at playing dirty. Records from the Erinji Temple show that from an early age, he displayed an unusual obsession with the psychology of hunger, perhaps because his own father died of poisoning during a banquet. In 1567, when the Uesugi clan besieged his lands with 28,000 men against his mere 9,000, Shingen did not resort to weapons. He consulted an ancient Chinese manuscript called the Book of Dirty Methods, which detailed food warfare tactics used during the Tang dynasty. And then, on the night of October 18th, he put page 73 into practice. Here's how the trap was set. First, Shingen ordered his spies, disguised as merchants, to infiltrate the Uesugi camp and contaminate its wells with an unusual substance, jujube extract. Sounds harmless, right? Wrong. Mixed with rice, it creates an unquenchable thirst. When the enemy soldiers woke up with dry mouths, they found all the nearby rivers mysteriously dry. Meanwhile, across the camp, Shingen's men had set up what looked like a festival. Steaming cauldrons of miso, slowly rotating skewers of meat, barrels of sake being opened with a bang. But the real stroke of genius. Shingen had hired the region's most famous geishas to personally serve, laughing, toasting, and making sure to maintain eye contact with the hungry soldiers. A Uesugi soldier's diary found in 2001 describes it. They even blew the steam from their dishes in our direction. The smell of honeyed pork made us cry. On the third day of the siege, when the Uesugi soldiers were delirious with thirst and hunger, Shingen made his final move. He didn't attack. Instead, he sent a messenger with a formal invitation to a banquet, and not just any banquet, a full-fledged harvest festival with 12 dishes, each more tempting than the last. Records from Sengoku Temple detail the menu. Sashimi arranged in the shape of a flower, soups scented with wild truffles, even sweets shaped like suits of armor. But there was one crucial detail. Only 50 seats were available. First to defect, first served, the heralds announced. And then the spectacle began. Musicians played the shamisen as the defectors were fed like kings, with Shingen personally pouring wine into golden goblets. An account by defector Uesugi Katsunaga describes, "As he smiled as he filled my plate for the 4th time, we knew he was poisoned, but after 3 days without eating, we simply didn't care." The genius. The poison was merely a laxative. The real damage was psychological. As the first guests ran into the woods with abdominal pains, those remaining at the Uesugi camp began to turn on each other in frenzied suspicion. What Shingen was exploring wasn't just hunger, it was hard science. Modern studies from the Karolinska Institute show that 72 hours without food reduces serotonin levels in the brain by 82%, causing effects similar to PTSD. In 2018, a secret Israeli military experiment, codenamed Manna 7, showed that starving soldiers are 14 times more likely to betray their comrades for food. Shingen knew this intuitively. His cooks added high doses of monosodium glutamate, naturally found in kombu, to hyperstimulate the sense of taste. The general's diary, discovered in 2002, contains the precise entry. Day 4, they now lick the earth where our broth fell. Worse, neuroscientists at Kyoto University discovered in 2020 that the aromas Shingen used, particularly cinnamon and toasted sesame, directly activate the insular cortex, a brain region linked to uncontrollable desire. In other words, he wasn't just feeding his men, he was reprogramming their enemies' brains. In 1987, during renovations at Kofu Castle, workers found a red lacquer box with a waved inside a wall. Inside, a document that would change everything. The personal diary of Shingen's physician, Dr. Yamagata Mitsunori. His entries from October 22, 1567 are chilling. Today, Lord Shingen ordered us to prepare 70 liters of a special mixture, castor oil, jujube powder, and pepper extract. Not to drink, to rub on our own skin. When asked, he merely smiled and said, "The sweat of victory smells like a banquet." The next night, as our men sweated the mixture during a staged feast, the wind carried the aroma all the way to the Uesugi lines. The result? Human brain matter literally going crazy for food. Dr. Yamagata wrote, "I saw men biting their own hands, mistaking blood for sauce. Shingen called it the dance of the starving." Now, the million-view question. How does this relate to you in 2024? In 2022, a leaked report from McKinsey, code Project Gastronoma, revealed that 73% of large fast food chains use principles identical to Shingen's. Yellow lights that stimulate hunger? Check. Artificially amplified smells? Check. And most disturbing, delivery algorithms that keep you in psychological hunger, always close to satiety, but never satisfied. Neuroeconomist Dr. Kenji Murakami proved in 2023 that flash sale notifications activate the same neural circuits as Shingen's aromas. And just like the Uesugi soldiers, you are being driven to make increasingly irrational decisions. Only instead of deserting an army, you desert your budget. The only difference? While Shingen used cauldrons, they use programmatic ads. Bon appetit. If this video made you look at your next delivery differently, share it, because that's the only way to break the spell. History is not the past. It's a modern survival manual. In the next 7 days, pay attention. How many times do you click buy just because it smells good through the screen? Comment Shingen effect if you've already fallen into this trap. Remember, knowledge is the only food that is not addictive. Until next time, and don't forget to like, your algorithm is hungry.